Making predictions is about guessing what's going to happen next. And we're going to look at this movie, Harvey. And Harvey is an old black and white film done in 1950, and it starred James Stewart. And his character has a best friend named Harvey, and Harvey is a 6 foot, 3.5 inch invisible puka. And a puka is a stuffed rabbit. And so we're going to take a look at this clip. And I'm going to stop this movie at a certain point, and you're going to see if you can guess what happens next, and then I'll replay the clip. So let's take a look.
After you. How do, Mr. Dad? Afternoon, Mr. Cracker.
Okay, now let's go around the room and let's see if you can predict what happens next. So, Shanna, what do you think is going to happen next? Okay, now that all of you have had a chance to predict, and let's take a look at the rest of the clip. Another part of predicting is to assess the meaning of some words and phrases that are very commonly used that are not necessarily written, but they're spoken. Conversational English is very commonly informal and with people whose first language is English. So, people whose first language is English, they rarely speak with proper English. Idioms are common phrases that you don't take literally because they have different meanings, and you can find them in every language. So, I'm going to name a common phrase, an idiom, and go around the room and ask each of you to say what you think it means. Okay, wash your hands of something. Now, it isn't something you would take literally, but what it means is when you wash your hands of something, it means you're taking no responsibility for it. So if something happens, you are washing your hands of it and you don't want any part of it. Water under the bridge. So is it really water under the bridge? Water under the bridge is not letting something bother you. So if, for instance, somebody scorned you in the past, somebody did something to you that you didn't really like, but you decide not to hold a resentment about it. So you would just say water under the bridge. It's water under the bridge, not let it bother you. Throw caution to the wind. So what that means is what? Yes. It means that you will do it regardless of the risk involved. So um, you're just going to plow ahead, all guns blaze. Well, that's another idiom. All guns blazing. It means you're just gonna go ahead and do it as well and as fast as you can. So throwing caution to the wind is very similar. Bite the bullet. That means get it over with. So just get it over with and get it done. So, what is giving somebody the cold shoulder? Do you actually put ice on their shoulder to give them a cold shoulder? What is that? Well, what that is if you ignore somebody. So, say somebody is talking to you and you ignore them. They don't exist. So, giving somebody the cold shoulder is kind of like turning your back on them. Take a rain check. Now you're going to hear this term a lot in a lot of cases. And what that means is postpone it for later. So you do it later. I'll take a rain check on that. So, how do idioms differ from slang? An idiom is something that is generally universal, and slang is a word that is used more regionally. So, it's more specific to certain areas. And regionally can mean province, state, generation, a type of industry. And so, those are just examples of what regional might mean. Slang is very informal speech. It's not appropriate for formal speech. So it is not considered proper English. It is used a lot. So you're going to hear a lot of slang, and there are so many words. And sometimes slang often insults and offends people as well. So let's look at some examples of slang. So, bay. Bay. What do you think bay might mean? Bay is something you might hear, especially in a fan's reference to the singer Beyonce. Bay is also a term of endearment about somebody. Here's another one you're going to hear a lot of. DIY. What is DIY? It is do it yourself, and it refers to projects where you make things or renovate things yourself. Veg. What does veg mean? Veg, well, it can be used as an abbreviation for vegetables. It can also mean vegetate. So you'll hear the term, oh, I'm just going to go home and veg. So veg means you're just going to sit on the couch and just relax and do nothing. So that's kind of what veg means. Bail. Bail, well, literally, it can mean putting up money to get somebody out of jail. But in slang, it means abruptly leaving a situation. So you walk into a party or some sort of event, and you just decide to bail. So bail just means to walk out.